Hello and welcome to Bleed. This is the show about advertising and more. With me, Ryan Whyte. I'm a freelance graphic designer. I'm not a YouTuber or a podcaster. Today, I'm not joined by Jacque Moodley, aka Falcone, permanent art director, and that is because today on the show, and before we let's get one thing clear. Show is a very loose term. It's just me talking into a laptop and then uploading it to the internet for you guys to watch or not watch or listen to or not listen to. Nevertheless, today I will be highlighting the first episode of Bleed Season 2, featuring me, Ryan Whyte, graphic designer, Jacque Moodley, art director, as well as, and last but not least, copywriter and creator of things, Siya Tyali. So, here's the first highlight of Siya. He's talking about intellectual property of ideas and who gets ownership and who gets the raw end of the deal. And I don't think there's a need for a spoiler alert. We all know how this one ends. So without any further delays, here is the first snippet / highlight.
Shit.
And he wasn't thinking of the award submission video.
He was at the time. Like, listen, he probably was when the idea hit him. He probably was, because for creators, you hit the minute you hit the solution, your brain's already going,
case study.
What's case study?
Case study video.
What's the case study? Exactly.
It's hot.
I can already be like, okay, we're shooting it. We're gonna charge the client to go shoot it out there, and we're gonna actually do it, and then we're gonna have a weekend where we can spend actually out in the bundes. You're actually ready, but the thing was, you solved a business problem by solving a world problem. And then also, they ended up I don't remember what deals they cut, but they ended up making a lot of money. Like Jeep ended up making a lot of money because they did. When they pitched the idea, no, they sold it in America and stuff, and so they ended up making a lot of money off it. And I think the deal, I don't know what the deals that Whyte cut with him, but Whyte ended up making a lot of money off it as well. And I was like, cool, bro, but and I'm sitting there going, what did you get though?
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, award submission.
Notoriety?
Yeah, notoriety. I think he might have gotten a bonus, but I think he just got a bit of a pay bump and, what's this thing? The promise of keep going. He'll be creative director one day, that kind of bullshit. And I sat there going, so these guys made millions of dollars off this idea, and you own 0% of it.
I mean, no Nobel Peace Prize, no.
That's a you came up with IP.
That's an IP thing, but now for me, that's what I've started noticing. A lot of advertising agencies are moving towards, yes, we're still doing adverts, yes, we're still doing, but we're also coming up with product. We're also coming up with innovation. We're actually exactly. We're also coming up with, oh yeah, you guys should do this podcast, or you saying it to your clients, or you know what, actually, this fits in with Kodak did this whole thing about China, where they kind of Instagram themselves, and they came up with this whole idea of capture those Kodak moments, and their people in their advertising agency came up with that, and the creatives who came up with that, and I'm sitting there going, but how much ownership do you actually get then at the end of the day? Because these guys are making money, aren't you?
Every time you sign a contract, and I've signed enough contracts in my career, there's always page 6.1.2 is any ideas you come up with.
Whether it's after hours, during hours, fucking in your sleep.
It's our idea.
Yeah.
And we own it.
Yeah.
And it's always something that you have to initial at the bottom of the page, and you get a little bit it feels weird, something in your gut that goes,
they let you know.
There's something wrong about this, but you're need that paycheck, man.
Also, it's just the older you get, though, I think the more that because when you're young, you don't
realize what that means.
You don't realize what it means, but also you don't realize the power of creativity or what you're doing.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, though, the more you realize, and the older you get, the more you sit there going, that clause starts to make you feel more and more uncomfortable, because you're just dude. Some guy who's your mate probably just told you about an app he's doing or whatever. And just sitting there going, and I'm just giving it away for free.
We had Collie on the show a couple episodes ago,
Yes.
and he works for a bank. And I know, like, you know, even my kid's mom used to work at the same place. And what they would do is they would reward your creativity or your creative ideas for the company. And like they'd give you $1 million, like literally, like whatever idea. So the guys who came up with e-wallets,
Yes.
$1 million, whether it's a team or it's an individual. Here's this pool of money, because they're rewarding you, but they're also buying your IP.
Yeah, they're buying the IP.
They're giving you IP. We gave you $1 million.
Yes.
We own this idea now.
Yes.
So even so you can't have a Vodacom, fuck it, please call me situation.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
They buy your IP.
Yeah.
And like, the promise of being a creative director and like maybe going to Cannes is great. But if I'm coming up with a fucking multi-million rand idea, then make me a partner.
But you know the weird thing is, I think that's the thing though. The idea of being a creative director, or the idea of being an ECU, the idea of Cannes, has started to lose a little bit of its shine to creators, only because ownership has become such a real thing now. Before it was, you needed to be like a huge company like a Coca-Cola or whoever to create these big things. Now it's guys creating apps in their living rooms and they're becoming multi-millionaires and just sitting there going, fuck, I could have done that.
But I was in a status meeting.
Or even I've done something like that, but it was for another client.
Yeah.
So that was Siya Tyali talking about IP and who usually comes out trumps in that situation if you do land up coming with a groundbreaking idea, and how that's kind of changing, how people are taking more ownership of the ideas and executing them themselves, which I think is really cool. So there we have it. That was nicely packaged for you in case you don't want to listen to the whole episode. You know, we're living in a very instant gratification landscape nowadays, so you know, people are as we say in advertising, time poor, but if you do find yourself in a situation where you're time rich, listen to the podcast on Spotify or your favorite podcast player, that's Bleed Advertising, or watch the episode on YouTube, Bleed Advertising. Just search for Bleed Advertising, you'll find it. Anywho, before we get into the next highlight from the first episode of Bleed Season 2, I thought we'd just go through some news. So Bleed Season 2 it's finally over. Our final guest was none other than Bernice Puleng, copywriter and awkward human. And what an episode it was. You know, we recorded offsite for the first time at the lovely Toasted on Jan Smuts, bespoke sandwichery and coffee joint. I've noticed if you add ERY to the end of any business, you can make it sound way fancier. Like, for instance, haberdashery, bakery, patisserie, boulangerie. I learned the other day, so my friend works at this piercing shop, and I learned that it's actually called a piercery. So there we have it, conclusive evidence. Anyways, before we get into that final snippet, let's just see. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're actually going to have a season 3 of Bleed interviews. We'll see if our sponsors renew us. Until then, you can tune into Bleed Extra. That's our sometimes weekly Zoom call with Jacque and I. We discuss topics about advertising and other creative fields. And we actually don't have sponsors. We've never had sponsors. So maybe if you'd be so kind as to purchase a t-shirt off of our website, bleedadvertising.com, or send us some bitcoins on Patreon, maybe we can crowdfund season 3. Speaking of Patreon, that's kind of like a begging thing, right? It's like online begging, or is it tipping? I actually don't know what it is. Whoever came up with the idea of Patreon is a genius. But anyways, this is just me rambling now. Let's get on to the next highlight from the episode Job Bags from season 2, episode 1. And Siya has come up with a conspiracy theory, so I'm not going to get into it too much. Let's just hear from the man himself.
So I've got written here, conceptualizer, graphic novel enthusiast, creator of things, including conspiracy theories.
Yeah, yeah.
So you create conspiracy theories as well.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm currently working on one.
Nice.
Please don't, you've already said what day it is anyway, but anyway, it's about 11:40, what now? 46. So 20th of, what is it, the 28th? Yeah.
What is this on this?
My phone is all, my watch is all over the place, man. Okay, anyway,
You can tell time, right?
28th of November. My
2020.
current conspiracy theory is that I'm working on is that Steve Jobs never died. They actually put his brain. They actually downloaded all these what do you call those brain waves onto a computer at Apple.
Yeah.
And Siri isn't Siri. It's
Steve Jobs living.
Yeah, learning,
Fuck,
growing.
Like Lawnmower Man
Yeah. Well, that movie with her. Oh, that movie with Johnny Depp. With Johnny
Demonic Man.
Not Demonic Man. That's Keanu Reeves.
Transcendence.
Yeah,
It's all fucking same shit.
where he happens to play a fucking Steve Jobs type character whose brain gets downloaded into your thing.
Before you died, right?
Yeah, before he
There
died.
you go.
If we missed anything, a thought, a childhood memory, how will you know who you're dealing with? Oh my God.
I can't feel anything.
I'm here.
Sometimes facts are stranger than fiction.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Steve Jobs isn't dead, bro. I mean, if anybody could download somebody's brainwaves into a big supercomputer, it's the people at Apple.
You got an iPhone. What is this?
No, I can't be.
What?
I just want to try it serious, just like Steve Jobs did, and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
Okay, try it at home, people.
Yeah, just try it at home.
All 14 of you.
Siri will not respond.
Also, I can't believe I remembered Mnemonic Man. What was that?
I think you used to know all the Keanu Reeves movies
That's
because you
true.
see yourself in this
It's true.
character.
Yeah.
Look at Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah,
A little bit.
Yeah.
You
A
know?
little bit.
and it's a Keanu Reeves resurgence. It's a good time to be alive.
Yeah, dude, you could be John Wick
Yeah.
17.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So there we have it, the Steve Jobs Siri conspiracy, and yeah, Siya Tyali came up with that one, and I do find it very interesting. The fact that Steve Jobs is passing, and Siri's creation kind of coincided. I think it's a day apart. Is it a coincidence? I personally think it is a coincidence. But for those of you that enjoy conspiracy theories, indulge that one. Whether you believe that human consciousness can be uploaded onto a computer mainframe or a supercomputer is one thing. I know that body augmentation is becoming more and more of a thing. The use of robotic arms that are controlled, via brainwaves and nervous system. That's interesting stuff. I know that kind of stuff is happening. So maybe the next step is uploading human consciousness or thought, or who knows? It's not my realm of expertise. I'm just a graphic designer. Anyways, so what else can I tell you? I can tell you that we do have some t-shirts for sale, as I alluded to before. If you want to buy a t-shirt, just DM us on Instagram, bleed_advertising, or email us at bleedadvertising@gmail.com. Also, if you have any complaints, you can also direct that to bleedadvertising@gmail.com. Also, for compliments, we'll accept compliments, and if you have any other questions or musings or that kind of thing. Speaking of musings, I had a musing the other day. And I came across this shop called Lung Candy, and they sell vapes and vape liquids, and I just thought that this was such a troublesome name, Lung Candy. It sounds more like a condition that you get from smoking too much vape, I got a case of the old Lung Candy. So instead of this name, I would like to propose the name Darth Vapor. I am a bit of a Star Wars fan, or I was until, the new movies came out. But that's entirely another point. I'm a fan of the old ones, so Darth Vapor. I just think I love a good pun, obviously, and it's just he makes that noise anyway when he breathes. He's got that vapey kind of noise. So I thought that would be a cool name. I thought a cool payoff line would be Dark Side of the Lung, something like that. If you want to play in that territory. And let's see. Well, yeah, I think we're back in troublesome territory with that one, so maybe not Dark Side of the Lung. But if you have any opinions on this, or if you'd like to suggest any other pun kind of names for any companies out there, feel free to tweet us at Bleed Show on Twitter or any of our other channels. But I thought I'd just leave you with that little musing, and yeah. Oh yeah, t-shirts. I wish I had a t-shirt that I could show you guys. No, don't have any t-shirts, but yeah, you're just gonna have to go to our website and see what they look like there. So yeah, I will see y'all later. Peace.